There's a moment, rare, often painful, when the illusion collapses. When someone you trusted, admired, or even loved is suddenly unmasked, the truth no longer hides behind charm, smiles, or empty gestures. You see them, really see them, for who they are. And they know it. This is the moment bad people fear most, not because they regret, but because control begins to slip through their fingers. The game has changed, and now their true nature starts to show in desperation, deflection, or destruction. It begins with denial. They pretend nothing has changed. They may double down on kindness, over-apologize, or act overly familiar. This is not remorse. It's recalibration. They are scanning you for weakness, checking whether the mask can be glued back on. Can the illusion be restored? Can your doubt be erased? They smile wider, speak softer. It is all theater. But you, if you've truly awakened, no longer participate in the script. You stand still, observant. And in that silence, something shifts. Next comes projection. If they can't hide who they are, they'll try to make you question who you are. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things. You're the toxic one. These aren't just words, they're tactics. The goal is to destabilize your clarity, to make you question your perception. If they succeed, they get the mask back. If they fail, they move to the next stage. Attack. The unmasking does not lead to accountability. It leads to chaos. And if you're not grounded, you'll be dragged into it. Once denial and projection fail, something darker surfaces. Rage. Not always loud, sometimes quiet and calculated, but unmistakable. When the mask slips and the truth is known, the bad person doesn't ask, "How did I hurt you?" Instead, they wonder, "How dare you see me?" Exposure is the ultimate insult to their ego. You've removed their power, not physically, but psychologically. You've taken away the role they assigned themselves in your life, the generous friend, the loving partner, the helpful colleague, and in its place you've inserted truth. Truth is intolerable to those built on lies, so retaliation follows. They may try to smear you, turn others against you, or suddenly rewrite history. You were never loyal. You misunderstood everything. You're the problem, not me. They'll accuse you of doing exactly what they did. This is not accidental, it's projection weaponized. They aim to confuse, disorient, and force you into defense. Because if you're defending, you're no longer clear. If you're explaining, you're no longer detached. The Stoics taught to remain unmoved in the face of chaos. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change. But those who wear masks do not seek truth. They seek submission. You must never offer it. Understand this. Their rage is not proof you've harmed them. It's proof you've escaped them." When rage doesn't break you, they resort to something more insidious, the character assassination. This is where bad people become strategic. They know they've lost you, but they refuse to lose control. So they target your reputation, your relationships, your sense of belonging. They go to others, mutual friends, family, co-workers, and spin a new narrative. They play the victim. I tried everything. I loved them so much. I don't know why they're acting like this. They manipulate sympathies. They prey on those who don't know the full story. And they often succeed, at least for a time. Because people want to believe a familiar face more than an uncomfortable truth. This is where many fall back into the trap. They try to defend themselves, explain, plead with others, but the Stoic remains anchored. If it is not true, do not be troubled by it. Epictetus said, "Let your character speak for itself. Let time reveal what people cannot see now. Let them go. Do not chase explanations. Do not fight rumors. To those committed to misunderstanding you, clarity is a threat, not a gift. In time, masks rot. Lies collapse under their own weight, but only if you refuse to carry them. If their smear campaign fails, they may pivot again, from rage to remorse, from slander to softness. They might reach out with nostalgia. I miss how things used to be. I've been thinking about us. I've changed. It's a performance, not repentance. They do not miss you. They miss control. They miss the version of you that didn't see clearly. They miss the silence that protected their lies. Guilt is their last weapon. You've changed. You're so cold now. I guess you never really cared. This is not love. It's manipulation in its final form. A desperate plea wrapped in emotional hooks. If you are not grounded, you'll step into the trap. Not because you believe them, but because you doubt yourself. Bad people are masters at framing decency as cruelty and distance as betrayal. But remember, your peace is not cruelty. Your clarity is not betrayal. Saying no is not hate. Walking away is not revenge. Detachment is not arrogance. You are not obligated to carry someone else's pain simply because they refuse to face it. If they can't get back in, they'll move on. But not forward. They'll seek new targets, new admirers, new roles. But the mask is still with them. You'll see them thriving online. Happy photos, deep captions, healing journeys. It's all branding, not transformation. A performance for the next audience. Some are fooled, some celebrate them. But you must not envy or resent, because you've seen what lives behind the curtain. Let them reinvent. Let them be loved by those who haven't yet learned. That's not your fight. Your growth is not in proving their mask exists, but in never wearing one yourself. Seneca warned us, as is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is. Your story continues. There's resets. Don't follow, don't stalk, don't compare. They move in cycles. You move in truth. Eventually, when all efforts fail, the manipulation, the rage, the guilt, they let go. But not with peace, with calculation. They retreat, but they do not reflect. They withdraw, but they do not heal. They move on, not to grow, but to reset the game with someone new. This is the moment that tempts many into false reconciliation. You might think, maybe they changed. Maybe I was too harsh. But memory is not healing. Distance is not transformation. A lack of contact is not proof of change. The Stoic path is not bitterness, it's discernment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." You don't need closure. You don't need them to admit fault. You need to remain free. And so you do. You watch them fade, not with hatred, but with clarity. You bless the lesson, not the person. You carry the wisdom, not the wound. In the end, when the mask falls and the performance ends, your greatest triumph is not their downfall, but your peace. The person who once held power over your thoughts, your emotions, your identity, now holds nothing. That is the quiet revolution. That is the Stoic victory. You do not announce it. You do not post it. You live it. They may still talk. They may still pretend. But you are unmoved. Because you now know, anyone who needs a mask was never real. Anyone who punishes you for seeing truth was never for you. And anyone who returns only when the illusion is gone was only ever drawn to your blindness, not your being. You walk forward, not in anger, not in fear, but in strength. And that silence, that clarity, that peace, that's what they'll never understand and never touch again.